So in Turkey, we met those who participated in the Korean War, the veterans, and we made some donations there. We are continuously doing the donations since the chairman itself, we donated about 100K. So a lot has passed away. A lot of veterans passed away, but we are trying to take care of their children. So among the countries that we have penetrated, to 16 countries that helped us during the Korean War, we tried not to make profit, but to donate or to give back to all. Give back all to them. So that's the promise I made. So when Korea was going through hardship to those thankful countries, we should always give back to their succeeders and the descendants. Because as I go to overseas trips, I get the feeling that Korea is a really good country to live. So to the country, the political system is really important. I think that's the idea I get. The democratic and the free market. That's how what made the big difference between the north and the south side of Korean Peninsula. More than 30 years ago, I was visiting a lot of countries such as the US and other countries, and I was selling the auto particles. And there were people asking, looking at me thinking like, are you trying to illegally immigrate here? But now, if I go overseas, Korean passport is receiving special treatment. So if I go to a certain country, for about 10 countries in the world, they have a fast track for Korean passports, like VIPs. So there are lots of circumstances I see that. And when I was in Hong Kong, I think they were not able to come up with a fast track for the Koreans yet. But since I was in line with a Korean passport, the employee there called me saying, Korean passport, Korean passport. So he waved at me. And he guided me to the line where the air crews, staff members, or the VIPs go, and I was able to go through that lane. Well, of course, I think the corporate members will guide me or escort me with the swell vehicles and things because I think even though I tell them not to do so, I think the members all are doing a lot of effort to escort me so that more members will come. So what kind of system a country has made the difference between the South and the North Korea? So I think if you think that if a country says that I will make you live without any circumstances, I think that is a lie, and that's true. Let's say they give you good clothing and all that, but the Democratic Party of Korea, the north side, as you can see, is poor, and South Korea, on the other hand, gave freedom to the individuals to make a living by themselves. And President Kennedy said, what can a country do for the people is not what you should think, but you should rather think of what you can do for the country. So do not try to depend on the country, because country, of course, can help you make a living or not starve, but they cannot make you rich. So, you should think of yourselves as trying to be rich.
And you need to help other people by paying a taxes. That's what you need to think about from now on. And then if you live in that country will be rich. But if a country say that they will make you rich, the company will go poor. Look at the example of the South America. Recently, I visited a lot of European countries, and I felt a lot because when I visited European country 30 years ago, it was totally different from Korea, and they were like advanced countries. But now, this time, when I visited European countries, I felt like the European countries' development was plateaued. Now Korea is making a lot of dramatic changes, and we are now surpassing European countries in many different fields. So while you're doing this business, you need to follow the principle of the free economy, which means that you should never depend on your sponsors. And if you just sit there and if you are just bothering your sponsor, you will fail. But you need to think about making success by yourself. So whether you need to say to your sponsor, hey sponsor, I believe you will be successful thanks to me. This is what you need to say to your sponsor, and in that way you will be successful. If you are just still there, sit still, and you're just waiting for others assistance, you will go fail. And most of you will fail because of your mentality, weak mentality. Oh, I shouldn't go really strong like this because I'm at a mere beginning. Anyways, I learned a lot and I was touched. And I could feel that now Korea's global status is really high. I visited Romania in Eastern Europe. Actually, this was my first time visiting Romania. And when I visit there, I could learn a lot of old histories and old cultures. And I could also learn their heritage. And because of their system, because of their communist socialist community, they could not make any economic growth. But these days their economies are regrowing, and now the ties between Romania and Korea are getting better throughout a lot of projects, and they're also a lot of interested in Korean products. And I know that it was all thanks to the K-culture and K-pop, and there are a lot of like K-pop lovers. So thanks to them, I can see there are increasing interest in Korean cosmetic product. Even myself as a Korean sometimes can't believe that how come Korea's culture could be loved this much. Sometimes I could not really understand that, but anyway, a lot of people are really loving Korean culture and K-pop. Not only that, K-culture including K-food are the one that could be recognized. So far, we've been consuming Korean culture and good Korean food. I think it's would be better than the States. When we eat steaks, all of the garnish will be like cheap potato chips and potato fries. But rather, Korean foods are like fermented foods, so it's would be better in terms of the health. So I think it is a time that the Korean foods are also being recognized by the global people. I believe that there are more to learn about Korean culture and Korean food. If our cultures are more introduced, I believe it will be more loved. Actually, I'm not a good singer, but uh, if I am a good singer, I believe that I might be loved a lot. So, but actually, I always want to be a good singer, so I learned singing and I did it. I sang in a Lawyer Leaders Club meeting. I did it, but I don't think people really liked it anyways. Among a lot of songs, I really love to listen to Korea traditional music, which is called Chang. Korea's traditional music, Chang, has its unique charm, and I believe that not many European or foreign people know and understand the uniqueness of Chang. But I can see that there are a lot of K-pop songs that embodies and that encompass the unique charm of Korean traditional music, and I hope more of Korean charm could be invited and included in the K-pops. I also visited Spain, and I also visited one kingdom and palace in Romania. There, I could see the enormous power of the of Spain because it was all decorated with gold. As you are aware of, I built a house in Sejong City, and sometimes I feel like, is it too much, or is it too elegant, or is it too extravagant? But when I visited there, all of my concerns were just gone. And compared to this palace, my house was nothing. So my concerns are just gone. Back then, the palace and the Spain got all of the power, and I also think that what if they have a lot of colonies? I believe that if they did, Spain will have become much more powerful countries because back then they dominated a lot of countries, but they didn't have a lot of countries so that they could not expand their powers. Now, because well, since they didn't have their colonies, the colonies want to be independent, so I think they lose their powers. So those of the countries have similar status in terms of the finance, and the GDP is about 40 million, which is similar to Korea. Anyways, in Spain, there are a lot of people eager to start anime business, and I can meet a lot of people in Spain. So I visited European countries, and I have a lot of expectation over European countries. Then how come Atomy became to be loved by a lot of European people and a lot of global people? I found the reason. That's because I designed it as such. At the very first time I made this company, when I started this business, when I established this business at the beginning, I made a catchphrase that Atomy will rewrite the history of network marketing. Back then, I lived in a small apartment, small area, and or small office. The size of the office is like the that of the stage, and we also had the storage. We had the accounting office, and we got a lot of department in the small office. Back then, we got the catchphrase saying, "We will write the history of network marketing." So I believe that the history of network marketing will be changed before and after Atomy. I think it was pretty arrogant back then, but anyway, I started like that under that catchphrase. I believe that that catchphrase I made is now being realized. We reached 1 trillion of sales recently, and among the other global network marketings, back then we were among the top 20s. And back then, I attended the CEO council of the network marketing companies. In that council, there were owner of Amway, Newskin, Herbalife, and Avon, and so I could meet a lot of founder and the CEO and the owners of the door-to-door sales and network marketings, and I was invited there. and I was granted 40 minutes for a presentation because I was there for the first time, and on my presentation I said that like this. Back then, Amway sales was 10 times uh, bigger than ours. There was a chairman of Amway named Devos, and there was a chairman of Newskin, and there was chairman of Herbalife. In front of all of them, I said, when I established Atomy, I didn't make it to compete with all of you. I don't think all of you are my competitors. Then, who is your competitor? For me, my competitor is Walmart, Amazon, Alibaba. So I will compete with the other distribution companies in the quality and in the price. I will be competing those discounting and those distribution company, and that's how I establish this company. You all say that this is a big business, but I don't agree with it. This is what I said in front of them, and I could see that their eyes are getting bigger. It means they are surprised because they all say that network marketing is a big business and this business is getting bigger. But someday some stranger like me came there and say this is not a big business. So they said and they answer like, who are you? And what do you think this business is? So I replied like this. Our Honorable Amway established earlier than Walmart because it has a history of 60, 70 years old, because it has established earlier than Amazon and Alibaba. But Walmart is making 6 trillion one of sales, and Amazon is making 5 trillion, and Alibaba is making 22 to 300 trillion. But how come the first runner, Honorable Amway, is only making 10 trillion? But how come you could say that you are a big business? So I said like this in front of all of the chairmen. That's why I don't think that the direct selling companies in front of here are not are my competitors. Are you proud of me? Are you proud of your chairman? Of course, I think I was arrogant because their sales were 10 times bigger than that of ours. So in the break time, the chairman Devos came to me and he said, "May I sit next to you?" So I said, "Of course, please have a seat." And he sat next to me and he said that actually I wanted to learn more about anatomy. So I said, "Oh, actually, Rich Devos, your father, the founder, is like an ancestor of our industry, and you should know them. Dick Devos and Javid Andal. They are the founder of this industry, so you need to also remember this name." So I answer, I wrote a book written by your father, and that's how I learned about this direct selling industry. Without your father, this business will not exist. This is what I think. So whenever I talk about Amway, I always said that my honorable Amway, and in front of my Atomy members, I always said my honorable Amway. And I answer like this, and I also continue. I think there's nothing you will learn from me. I think I need to learn from you. And I could learn his humility, and great characteristic. And I could learn a lot of good characteristic from him because I was so arrogant back then. And that chairman like said that I don't think that you are my competitors. If I were him, I might think that he's so arrogant. But he came to me and he like say something to me. So I think he got a lot of good characteristics and he got his humility. So we start talking about how we could compete with a distribution company, and I also said that we try to cut the cost in order to compete with the distribution company. They have the cost and they have the manufacture cost and they have the maintenance cost, and we try to compare all of the cost in order to cut the cost from our side. And this is our strategy. We try to cut the cost from these kind of processes and cut the cost. So our cost portion could be double than that of the other competitors. And speaking of the personnel costs, personnel expenses, it accounts for 2% of the entire cost. We have 1,000 employees in Korea, and their personnel expenses account for 2% of the overall management cost. It is, I must say, it is miraculous. Do you think we need to have them or not? We must have them. Without our employees, you need to do all of the work by yourself. And then in order to do that, you need to pay more than 2% of the management cost. I think it is whooping better to pay 2% and let them work hard for all of you. For example, speaking of the package cost, all of that package cost could be similar, and the payments and the card payment commission will be the same. But we try to lower the internal management cost compared to the competitors. It is only 1/2, 1/5, or 1/10. So we try to tighten our management costs. But at the same time, we try to give as much as salary to them. Our average salary is about 100 million Korean won. It is an average. I think it is pretty good. And when they come to for the new recruits, their salary is about 60 million Korean won. We manage that at 2%, not because we give them less money. Rather, we provide a generous salary, but at the same time, we are managing our managing cost at an affordable ratio. And one of my goal is to make our company giving the largest salary amount to our staff members. I need your agreement. If you say that 2% is too high, you need to cut it to 1%. If you say like this, I don't think 2% is really high. 2% is okay, and if it is within 2%, if we increase the sale by 5%, the salary will also increase by five times. Of course. At that time, our employees will get the highest amount of salary in the world. So whenever they meet our members, our employees might feel really happy because they're getting the high salary in the world thanks to all of the members. They might feel really proud of them, and they might be really proud of being a part of Atomy. That's why I try to give as many salaries to all of the employees, because I want them to serve our members well and in an effective manner. That's why a lot of like HQ employees are going to the centers to do the Go 100 campaign. They are doing this because their chairman did it before. When I founded this company at first, I did all of the things, all of the jobs by myself, because the number of the employees were not enough. Iksan, Jeonju, Hongyeonggu Imperial Master, Masan, centers. If they needed me, I just ran there and I try to introduce the company compensation plan. As such, I went to Jeju, Iksan, Jeonju, Suncheon, Yeosu, Jinju, Masan, Changwon, Busan, Ulsan, Gyeongju, Daegu every week. Sometimes I did the lecture for 4 times a day. I stay all of night. And I sometimes slept in sauna because I didn't have enough money. Sauna is the one and only place that men and women could sleep together legally. They could do anything they want in sauna. I think it is one of the good characteristic of K culture, and the sauna culture need to be spreaded into the world. So all of the members, I think, need to stay all of night. It's sauna, the jimjilbang all together.
So that's how I went on site. Since the design is done and we developed the product and also the system itself. So we should not try to work, but we should streamline the work. That's how we work best. That's how we cut down the work or the processes. And now, since we can do all well, we help other members. We go on site and help them. The people who are making products, they're different from the educated lecturers because they're the ones who made the product themselves. They made the presenting materials. When they go on site and lecture, do you think they'll be good or not? They will have to be good and they can answer any questions. So as we do the work, you should always ask for others to come. You should eagerly demand your but there are a lot of people who hesitate. There are people who think to themselves, do the people do not like us because so they're not coming. But no, if you cry out for the help, then the help will be needed, given. I don't know where I'm going with this, but so I'm a little bit lost, but Atomy should become a company that beats the ordinary logistics company as well. The marketing, well, why did the direct selling become a problem? Because the multi-level selling was about getting the investment and invest from otherwhere because there were in order to become a multi-level marketing company, you have to get the accreditation from the government, but the companies that did not receive the accreditation did the financial pyramid selling, and that was on the news. But now, until now, the legal term itself is to pyramid marketing. So now what we would like to say is member direct selling marketing. So we say we're not pyramid, but we are member direct selling. That's the term we use. So the demand for changing the term was going on for a while, but I was one of the person that was against the will because well, in our industry, there is a lot of problem. It wasn't work if we change the frame itself, but we have to change the core. After changing the core, we have to change change the title. We call it the member direct selling, but if there's accidents happening, then we can't just change the cover. Then by changing the cover, won't change the aspect of the people. So we have to change the content itself and then change the cover. But because of Atomy, the social view started to change. So those inspection organizations, the group that does the work of the police. That is Fair Trade Commission. Fair Trade Commission. So they have the jurisdiction, the juridical power, which means that they can halt our operation without any agreement from other stakeholders. In Korea, there are more than 10 million, tens of millions of companies, but only a few receive the accreditation because they should be legally legit and have the system. That's why when there's an inspection, there are less companies that can come up with those criteria. So when we first applied for that acquisition, the result did not come out for more than more than a few years. I asked them why won't they give us a result, but they said because you're a pyramid company. But since constantly we asked for the results eventually came. But as the professors for the inspection came to on site, and they were like, they were asking for CCs even though they're a pyramid company. But after visiting our company, their well view a little bit changed because biannually they always go on an inspection. But I saw the faces of the professors changing. And they were telling me, we are here because we heard that Atomy is doing well. And at the third inspection or the due diligence, but at the first and the second, the woman professor came. They did not select her to come, but they were selected to come. So I was saying, I will go along with you for the inspection, and they will say, no, you can go do your job. It's because at first they themselves were a big burden on us, but now I was able to see they changed. They saw me as a burden on their work. So what do you think? This network marketing history is being rewritten or not? Yes, it's being rewritten, though partially, though it's not whole, but partly, and the changes are being made. And the Fair Trade Commissioner gave us a certificate. So that was a certificate that I longed for a long time. You know how I felt? The thief receiving a commendation from the head of the police station was what I thought. The prosecutor was what I thought. So those, well, the president would give us a certificate. Well, I won't go, but the commendation from the Fair Trade Commission, I went there myself to receive the award. So as I was shaking the hand, I said one thing. Well, Commissioner, don't worry a thing. The pyramid, networking, marketing industry will do well because we are going to set a good example. Well, others will just shake their hands and leave the stage, but and they say something. But the journalists were asking me what I asked during on stage. I said, told him that we're doing well. So, however, at this kind of organizations, if they do like Atomy, will be a good example. And the So there are even evaluations that says, I hope that other companies will do good just as Atomy does. So if with the well certificate with our back, if we make some lots of victims and losses of more than tens of hundreds of Ks of ones, then the Fair Trade Commissioner, since you are the one who gave them the certificate, you should compensate my loss. Or do you think there are people who would say that? There will be people who say that. So what we should do is not make accidents or make sure things are on track. So this whole market to be on a regular course and as a regular business, to turn it into a regular business. That's what what we're doing. And the respected Armway also received the CCA accreditation, and other companies are requesting to receive the approval. So Atomy is provoking changes. So histories are being rewritten at this point. At the Fair Trade Commission, the the leaders there don't meet the people in charge of the multi-level marketing, but they are giving CC accreditation now. So this kind of changes are being made at the moment. So if there are people in this room who came with a thought in their mind that they will not pursue the network marketing any longer, well, there might be people who think so. There might be people who lost their money while pursuing the business, or people who tried to commit a suicide. And in Daegu, and there are people who ride off to China. Well, there are dark side of the history in the network marketing history. Well, there are some risks that we will have to take. So to those who say so, just tell them that you're right, we are bad, and the direct marketing insiders are doing bad, but we're trying to do good. Atomy is changing. So tell them in a low manner is needed as well. So we have to be modest. Since my son's teacher wanted to see me, there was time that I went there. So what does your father do? Was the question. I was owner of a network marketing. I was supposed to say it confidence that I am running a business, and I was telling the members to never be shy. But since I was in front of the teacher, I told the teacher of my son that I am doing logistics. Then I was ashamed. So I turned my back, and to the teacher of our baby, since I was not able to say honestly what I do, but at the time my grandson is born, I was thought I should be able to say it in confidence of what I do. So at school where our grandson goes, the people all know that I am the CEO of network marketing. Would people envy me or curse me? Well, it depends on how we do. Well, that is leader. The people who can change the era, who can change time, will change the world. So rather than competing with other networking companies, we are to compete with other ordinary companies like the and we started by proclaiming that we will win with an affordable price, such as the toothbrush. It's not an individual toothbrush. We were looking for something that won't break much, and maybe we should. There are people who use their toothbrush for more than 6 weeks, I mean 6 months, but I think uh, since it's only 1,201, or it's about the ordinary one, That's about 3,000 won, I think. But we sell it for 1,200 won. Don't you think it's cheap or not? It's cheap. And you receive every time you buy it. Is there anything wrong? No, there's nothing wrong. Well, using Atomy Dream itself is a win-win for me. So if I give you the information relatively, that's helping you and I'm helping myself as well. So though people might not understand at this moment, we should not be shy of ourselves or be embarrassed. We should be confident. It's just that that person does not understand it at the moment. And there's cosmetics and health supplements, but the toothbrush is about half the price, but the cosmetic actually is about fifth one or seventh one. Well, there are high-end cosmetics from England. Well, it's been more than 10 years since we have the same level of technology. So the Korean cosmetics technology, we have the nanotechnology in, and the IT, the radiation technology. So from the plant, we extract the harmful extracts. But when we extract, we extract it by boiling the plant. And if do you think you can put a lot inside the cosmetic or not? Because well, we are not able to put a lot in, but with the extraction and put something sweet and the stain went away. So we and filled more than 500 points. Then that we had it all over the news. Also, this RT technology, it's a patent. Korean cosmetics, Atomy Cosmetics uses the unique technology. So what does the foreign companies have? We have the nanotechnology coating. We have the drug delivery system. It has it in absolute. And also those freckle making cells. We targeted to make some white cells. Just because we over apply it on face doesn't mean that it will have an effect. But using the magnetic field, it uh, helps us to transmit. There are technologies that I can't even start with. So Korean products has well catched up with European game advancement for some time. And now I would like to share with you a top secret in our industry. The model did not become pretty because it used the product that it promotes. It's just that the model was born pretty. So the model was chosen because of the beauty. But while applying the product he or she promotes, the only product that you can improve yourself through product appliance is Atomy, because all of you individuals are models of Atomy. So if you apply Atomy cosmetics and go out, people ask you, what did you do? Did you take a plastic surgery? No, they will say that I just used the Atomy products. So the only product in terms of cosmetics that helps you improve yourself and also earn commission is the Atomy. So why would we use an expensive other cosmetics? So this absolute price, absolute quality. So we have to select and we have to sell it in at a price that nobody can follow. So other people, even though they try to have it, they won't be able to. So it was about 770K, but now we have downsized it to 1/10. We were not able to downsize it at the first hand, so we downsized it 1/5 at first and doubled the quantity. It was 30%, 42 sticks, mine 48, and now we have increased to 60%, and that's how we downsized the price to 1/10.
When I first met Hamuhim, the sales were only 500 boxes a month. If they manufacture 3,000 boxes, they need to sell it for 6 months. So even though the price was 770,000, it was deficit. So back then I met Kim Chi-bong CEO. I said that if you just sell 500 boxes a month, you could not make a living because the sales was only 500. And then from now on, you need to manufacture 5,000 boxes a day, and then I will sell all of them. Don't worry. So I changed it into 5,000 boxes manufacturing a day. I said that I will sell 100,000 boxes a month. If you calculate the cost, I will sell all of them. So I started to do it. I started the mass production, do the mass production. And he said that there are a lot of good herbal ingredient and herbal extract, and they are so expensive, he said. So I answered, there are a lot of empty field, and then you could grow the plants in that empty fields. Don't worry. And I also said all of them are just roots. It is only like boiling all of the roots and make the extract. And they said no, it has like extraction techniques, and we need to make a lot of effort, and a lot of researchers gathered together and invested a lot of expenditure to develop that product. And he replied like this. So I answered, no, all of that are the sunken cost. Don't think about it because the country already used that, so don't think about it from now on. You need to focus on the mass production. From now on, we will do the ultra mass production in order to lower the cost. And then think about it, which is better, growing a carrot and radish or growing our herbal ingredients? Of course, harvesting these herbal ingredients are easier because this kind of herbal ingredient are not really harmed by the insects, and it doesn't need any uh, pesticides. So even in the infertile land, this kind of herbal ingredients could be grown. And then in this kind of sterile land, they could survive. And in that kind of bad circumstances, the ingredients got better and better. So that I answered that we just like spread the seed in the sterile land, and then we could grow that herbal ingredient by themselves. So from back then, it was only small amounts, but as time goes by, that amount increased a lot. So in the 10 tons of the tank, we put all of that herbal ingredient, and we added and we combine all of that tanks. By doing so, I could lower the production cost. So it has become the cheapest food and health functional food. The functionality is the best, but the cost is the lowest. When I go to the discount store, I drop by a lot of health functional food corners, and there are a lot of products such as red ginseng, and the herbal ingredient in the boxes are really huge because when we give it as a gift, the bigger is the better. So, but I didn't want to do that. So I downside the boxes and I downsize all of them because I think that we need to also export it abroad in order to lower the delivery cost. We need to downside the boxes. But at the same time, most of the health functional foods cost about 150,000, but we have the price, but the quality was whooping better. In that strategy, we succeeded and we achieved the absolute quality, absolute price Atomy product. Our products are just pioneering the market by themselves. Before we pioneered the European market, the product went there first. Pakistan, Bangladesh, we have a lot of members, and the number of the members here was over 10 million. The problem is the tariff. So the problem is, in order to solve the problem, we need to establish a branch and we could sell the product, but in that way, the cost will be doubled. So the Pakistan members want to purchase the product in the neighboring countries because it has no tariff. So they said that we really want to establish the branch, but we couldn't because of the tariff. But anyways, these are the problems that we have. Anyways, we are now securing the solutions. As such, the product itself go first and pioneer the market by themselves. When I was in the European countries, they said that they are attracted by Atomy product because of the quality. Although there are a lot of good product in Europe, in the past, a lot of Korean people want European product, but now it's the opposite. European consumers are attracted and fascinated by Korean product for its quality. As such, globally, Atomy is now making another leap forward. Atomy is now rewriting the history of network marketing, and one of the contributions is that we have unlimited level with no registration fee and no maintenance fee. If I think of this unlimited levels, you need to draw a bigger picture in your head. It means you are smart. But if you went to a prestigious school but you cannot draw this picture, you need to think that you are not that much smart. And if you think that, oh, it is really good, and if you think like this, you are smart. Unlimited level is amazing because most of the network marketing company has the limited level, so it start from me and the commission will go 7, 8, or 10 levels. So no matter how much commissions are made below that level, you cannot have any commission. In that way, you need to have like a lot of smart people below me. And then if you I said already that it is an unlimited level and most of the smart people might get it already. uh and you are if you are now considering whether to start it or not, you need to make your decision because it is unlimited level. No matter you have smart people or not around you, it doesn't matter. If you are not smart, there will be a lot of not smart people around you. If you think that I'm not that much smart, but my neighboring people are also not smart, don't worry because it is unlimited level. So in your down lines, there might be some smart people. That's how we have Crown Master who is only an elementary school graduate. We have 5 or more Crown Master who are only elementary school graduates. He used to be a driver who drove the bus to the Atomy Park, but when on his bus, he listened to the story of the Atomy and he was attracted by this business and he decided to start this business. As such, there are a lot of masters who are only elementary school graduate. And now his line expanded into Taiwan, and the Taiwan line was like expanded a lot, and then it also has lead to China, and now in that line there is a crown master. As such, Kim Hyun-suk Imperial Master recently visited China and she found out that there is a crown master in China, and she like calculate a sponsor, and she was the sponsor. So she just cried a lot because she felt so sorry about it. As a sponsor, she didn't do anything. She didn't even understand, and she didn't even like recognize that she has a partner in China. But that partner grew and grew by herself, and she became a crown master. And Kim Young Suk Imperial Master felt so sorry for her. And all of this could be possible because we have the unlimited level, and we have the upper limit. So upper limit is about 100 million Korean won a month. So all of you, you must be happy for it because most of the front, like first comers, are now making 100 million Korean won. And then if time goes by, if there's no upper limit, they might have 1 billion Korean won in the past, but if since we have the upper limit, they will not get that amount. And even though you are coming right now, you have more possibility to get 100 million Korean won by yourself because there is an upper limit in the commission. So even though you came here later than the other people, there is a still possibility to get that huge amount by yourself, and you're gonna meet them at the top. I think it's really a good news for all of you. You will get the same commission as the Imperial Master when time goes by. I already calculated it and I already understood it, and I made this system for all of the people who came today. And everyone, do you think that it will be easier than you thought? Oh, no answer. For some of you, it might be easy because there's someone who said Atomy was the easiest one among he've done so far, but some people might feel that it is the most difficult one because someone is really good at speech and understanding, and the other have difficulties in understanding and speaking. And for them, it could be a little bit difficult, but all of that could be trained. And the biggest thing is that you need to grow your vision. You need to grow your dream. If you confront an obstacle in front of you, and most of the people want to escape that obstacle, want to downside the obstacle and focus on that obstacle. But that kind of obstacle will go bigger as you focus and as you concentrate it. For example, if you hate someone, you don't need to focus on the person you hate. In your life journey, there might be a lot of obstacles, so don't just stick to it and just forget about it. And just imagine yourself. Imagine yourself uh, becoming an Imperial Master in the future, and then that person you hate will no longer an obstacle, and you started to think him or think her pity. Because as an Imperial Master, you will be at the top, and imagine yourself becoming an Imperial Master, and from that moment, the person you hate will be considered pity. So if you want to be successful, you need to grow the size of your vision and the will of the vision. And if the size of the problem is like your feast, if your dream is smaller than the feast, that obstacle will be considered bigger than your vision. But if you grow the size of your vision, no matter how big the obstacle is, you could just overcome it. Imagine if you make 100 million Korean won a month, how much money you are earning a day. Please calculate it. You need to be good at calculating if you want to be successful. For example, it is about making 3 million to 4 million Korean won a day, every day. Yesterday you make 3 million Korean won. Today you are making another 3 million won. Every day you will make 3 million Korean won, and it will be 100 million Korean won a month. So if you are dreaming this kind of future, even though you have a lot of obstacles, for example, I'm really sleepy, I don't feel good, the weather is not good, you should not speak about that, and you should not make an excuse. Folks folks it is about making 3 million Korean won a day. Please call them, and if your friends or if your partners don't come here, please let them know that, oh, you missed the opportunity to make 3 million Korean won a day. So everyone, once again, please enlarge the size of the vision, and then no matter how difficult obstacle you confront, you will overcome all of that. So don't expect that it will be easy. You could be successful because you grow the size of your vision. But there is one problem. That is about investment. I'm not talking about financial investments. You need to invest your time. For example, if you open a restaurant, or if you open an office, you need to invest it some money, and then in that case, you might be afraid of losing all of the money you invested. But in Atomy, we don't invest money, so some of you might not be really afraid of it. So I think I might get 100 million won from you to make you feel afraid of being failure. Anyways, I don't need your money because I'm rich enough. As such, you need to start this business thinking like you are investing huge amount of money already. For example, if you invested 1 billion Korean won, you need to start early in the morning and you need to run your office all day long. So, for example, for yourself, your mouth itself could be your office. If your mouth is working and if your mouth is speaking, it means that your office is opened. And if you stop speaking, it means that your office is closed. Imagine that if you shut your mouth a day, it means that you close your office a day. As such, you need to speak a lot like you open your own office, and you need to at least open your office for 8 hours a day. A lot of public officers also work at least 8 hours a day. As such, you need to speak at least 8 hours a day. You need to be extreme. You know, the slogan of this year is be excellent or be extreme. As such, you need to be extreme and you need to work at least 8 hours a day. Public officers don't say that they are extreme because they only work 8 hours a day. Most of the public officers um, don't tend to be really extreme. They go to work on time and they go to home at time. In order to make much more money than public officers, you need to work harder than them. So I mean that you need to work more than them. It means that you need to work more than 8 hours a day in order to be successful. Sometimes 8 hours might not enough. In that case, you need to be more extreme. It means that uh, you need to reduce your sleeping hours. Most of the early, most of the pioneers did like this. Most of the people had bad voice because they talk too much. One Imperial Master said that I went to the center for the first time, and there were already a lot of people at the center, and the next day he came earlier than that, and there were more people in there, and he came 1 hour earlier than that, and there were also the people, and they said that, how come you came so early? And they answered, oh, we didn't go to home yesterday. As such, he could become an Imperial Master like this. He worked harder than anyone else. And if you have more downliners, you need to work even harder. And then you need to make your determination in order to be an Imperial Master. Do you think I am doing my best or not? Actually, I'm doing all my best. When I travel Europe this time, I had stomach ache, I caught a cold, and I was accompanied by my wife didn't eat a meal because she also had a stomach ache. But although we were all sick in a seminar, I need to be really energetic because I need to motivate all of them. So I like this. I shouted like this and I screamed like this. I'm doing all my best.
So at the nighttime, I will come back to the stage at the talk show. And every week, I mean every month, we have the success week. And at next Friday, what we have? We have the revival meeting. You should be there. We do that at the Gwangju headquarters at 10:30 for about a whole day. Why do you have to be there? Because you'll be able to learn about all the principles of the management system atomy. It's rooted down from the Bible. And will you not die if you become a imperial or not? Of course you will die. Will the chairman die or not? Yes, the chairman will perish as well. Those one succeed, though one has a lot of money, everybody will die. But in the Bible, it says that the Creator Himself said he had two plans for his creations. This is the top secret of the Bible. One secret is what you have, the bios. We call it as bio. So we have the bio life given by the Lord. But what's the problem? It ends in about 100 years. But why do you want to become an imperial? Why do you have to earn money? And why do you have to want raise for the go for the higher goal? Well, of course, as we are living here and we have our children, we have the parents that we love, so that's why we have to succeed. Well, that um, promise has been given to us, but there's another blessing that He promised. That's the second life. The Lord is trying to give us a second life. If there's someone who thinks that I go to church, but I don't think the Lord is blessing me that much, then what do you have to check again? Is did you earn that second life or not? Because the Lord does not give blessing to a person that will die soon. So the Lord has not given a second life to those who would die soon. So earning that second life is the only goal you should have in life. So I have an experience of earning that second life that is so precious to me, that experience. So with that promise, I am living my life. That's why when I was in Europe, as I was doing the Atomy business, I always have the revival meeting. In Turkey, though it's a Muslim-based country, I well gathered some people and with the pastor that speaks that language, we had the revival meeting. So what is the important thing? What's important? Because there are ones that we love. At this first life, we should have some capital success, but we should accept the God's second life, and that is through His gospel. His words are the spirit and the second life. So at the Garden of Eve, there were not only fruits of truth. The Lord came as He was to the earth, and with His death, a lot of fruits were bared. and he shared with us the eternal life. And how are we to receive that? It's through the words of the Lord, the Bible. So what we are trying to will make our research on the Bible. Let us make our well, our research and learn about the Lord. So next Friday at the Atomy Park HQ, I hope to see you all. I'll see you all at the night. Thank you very much. And